We created Horizon because we saw that there was a gap in the world, that young men needed a space to come together and explore what it means to be a man and the journey of manhood, and be able to connect with positive role models.
It was kind of really intriguing. You know, what could we do? What could we do? What do we talk about? What sort of role models do we want? Do we want to put out there and project? Who was important to us in our lives as men? And you know, what's with this men thing at the moment? It's a big topic. You know, I'm not sure it's something that is done particularly well, if at all.
It was really important for us to create a weekend that had a lot of the elements of like a pretty standard like boys trip. So out in the bush, away from civilization, we cook our own food, we hike, a whole bunch of different guys from 14, 15, 16-year-old young men to guys that are in their 50s and 60s that all come together to talk about masculinity and what it means to grow up as a man in Australia.
I wanted to come to camp because I wanted just a release from life. I wanted to come away just with all boys, I guess, and not have to worry about girls. Just talk about boy stuff, catch up with my life, gain a bit of confidence, I guess.
To me, it's just about opening up to, I feel like, to other guys, because I don't usually open up to other guys. So I really enjoyed it, and the level of age and maturities I feel really awesome that we have here. So yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. It's something that you don't get to see in the business world because it's sheltered under many layers of protection, and it just makes you feel alive, I think. So I enjoy coming to these things to remain grounded and hopefully walk away from them with something that I can use in my own family environment and give experiences to my children and have relationships with my wife that I otherwise wouldn't be able to do.
Such a good feeling knowing that the older guys aren't there to just tell you what to do and like look down at you and say stuff to you. They're actually joining in and like talking and how they feel for the first time I've ever really heard. So I really enjoyed it, yeah.
It's important because if you look at the information that's out there, all of the indicators point to the fact that especially young men in Australia are in crisis. We don't have rites of passage or rituals to help us become a man. A lot of the time we lack the positive role models to show us the way, and by and large people are just making it up as they go, and we're starting to find out that that's not always working for people.
You know, we've all got a different story and we've all got different emotions going through us, and we've all got different degrees of complexity and what's taken us here and where we want to go. And so you can't prescribe the answer to it. It's got to come from within. This is about unlocking it, giving you the set of keys to unlock it for yourself, rather than telling you the direction to move in, I think. And yeah, for me it's certainly done that, and from what I've seen it's done it for others as well. Yeah.
I think now I know that being a man isn't just like being very masculine and being the dominant male and not having to show like emotion and stuff. You're allowed to, and you can be vulnerable, and that's okay. And I feel now I know that I can feel a lot more comfortable in my own skin. So I enjoyed finding that as a bit of peace.
I think it was just good to go away with the older guys, younger guys, and it's just opening up. I feel is just, I felt like me becoming a man.
I think what I've learned about being a man is that it's complex, and I think we're at a stage in society where some of the old stereotypes are being allowed to break down. So when I think about my father's generation, the man had to be the Rock of Gibraltar, had to be the tower of strength. couldn't show any weakness, had to be tough in the face of adversity, couldn't show emotions, had never learnt emotions, certainly from his father and his father's father, and struggled with the communication of emotions.
I mean, there were heaps of standout moments for everyone, but one that still sticks in my head is Gordon and Patrick, father and son, who had the opportunity to speak face to face, 100% openly and honestly about the implications of a choice that Gordo had to make for his life, and for Patrick to be able to give him love and support, and for Gordo to be able to talk about the fears and the challenges that come with that, and for them to support each other through it. Like, that's what Horizon's all about.
I think that for me, there were times when I sort of had my throat in my mouth, wondering what I might say or what he might say, and we sat around the fire, and last night it was gorgeous because I wondered whether, when we were acknowledging important men in our lives, whether he would acknowledge me. And a really, I don't know, a funny, weird kind of insecurity that he wouldn't. And of course when he did, I mean, how proud does that make you, in the way, particularly in the way in which he did it. And it was definitely after that, well, no, it wasn't after that, it was during that, it made me think about my relationship with my father and how hard I'd been on myself about that relationship, how hard I'd been on my father in many ways about that relationship. And one of the things that I took away from the camp on the weekend and unearthed was that I needed to take action around that. I need to allow my father to be a bigger part of what I am in life, just to give him the acknowledgement, and I need to also actually explicitly say some of the things that I need to say to my father. I've been ignoring that for too long in my life, and I now need to face into it. And so it's wonderful to see my son actually give me the courage to do that.
From this whole weekend, I'm just going to take away that I should take more notice of my dad, because seeing Pat say that to his dad in front of him just was really, really good. So I feel like I'm going to make more effort to be with Dad and do stuff with Dad. So, because he doesn't really know, because I never really tell him how much he means to me. So, yeah, that's what I got out of it.
I would definitely recommend every guy I know to come on this camp. It's definitely an experience that I'll never forget. And now I know, like, who I want to be, and I'm still trying to figure some of that out, but at least I know where I'm going to go.
I'd recommend it because it's an exploration of modern day manhood. We need a different culture. We need to be the new alpha, the new male that's prepared to be vulnerable, that's prepared to lead by example through talking about what it is that's important to us in male role models, talking about what's important to us as men. And women are important to us, you know, partnerships are important to us, friendships are important to us. And I don't think there's enough people thinking, even talking about that today.
Yeah, I'd recommend this to pretty much every guy. Doesn't matter if they're going through shit or not. It's just a place to relax, hang around with people who you've never met before. It's a place where you're not going to feel judged. You can let out what you need to say. You'll learn a lot about other males in the world. Yeah.
Horizon's a really powerful thing, and myself included, it challenges your perspective, challenges who you think you are and your place in the world, and it pushes you into the next phase, every journey.